Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Diverseability. During this episode, we will be talking with Mr. Chip Byers up here, and we're going to be talking about just what he does and everything. So, Chip, if you want to get started, you can tell your story about what you do and everything like that.
Okay, so hi. My name is Chip Byers. Um, I am autistic. I am a business owner, and I am a public officer in Florida. I guess my whole story really begins with I had a lot of struggle looking for employment because of the fact I was autistic. And my experience has always been either I come out and I tell people I'm autistic and I put it on the application and I do that, and then they just throw the application away, which was that. Or I don't tell them and then they try to figure out what's wrong with me. And that doesn't go well either. So basically, I ended up in a bunch of entry level jobs with no hope of advancement because everyone was like, "Oh, you can't do any more than this." It was like, "Well, yeah, I can," but I eventually said, "I can't do this anymore. I need to open my own business so I can be the boss." And I did, and I opened my own store, and I said, "Well, I don't want other people to go through what I went through, so I make it a point to employ a majority staff of people who are autistic or have disabilities, and I don't basically I don't I don't let them sit in the back and wash dishes. I make everyone learn everything, and I give everyone enough responsibility that they can advance and that they have stuff to put on their resume. So if they want to go into management, they can. I don't ever try to hold anyone back that way. Uh, because of And I also have a job training program that I do with vocational rehabilitation. Well, I've had a 100% success rate in having job placements. Because of that, I got the attention of the Agency for Persons with Disabilities, who awarded me Employer of the Year for the state of Florida for persons with disabilities. Um, After that, I guess I caught the governor's attention and I was appointed to serve as director of the Florida Endowment Foundation for Vocational Rehabilitation, also called the April Trust. But so yeah, that I work for disability workforce inclusion, and that's my role. Yeah.
It's pretty cool, I think it's very important to have businesses that allow people with disabilities to thrive, because just because you have a disability, it doesn't mean you don't need a job.
Yeah,
Everybody needs a job.
and like I always say, nothing I'm doing here is charity. Everyone earns their position. They all deserve to be there. I'm not giving anything away. These are good, hardworking people that people just aren't giving a chance to for no good reason. You know?
Right, right. And we've talked briefly before this and everything, and you said that you're the first person in Florida to hold public office with a disability, as someone with
Not with a disability, just autism. But yeah.
autism.
So yeah, that is I believe the statistic is 1 in 80 Floridians is autistic. Yet, if you look at the makeup of our elected officials and our public officials, it's not 1 in 80 autistic people representing us. I'm at least the I'm at least the only openly autistic person serving in Florida state government at the moment. There might be some of us who are not open about it, but at least I'm the only openly one. what I will say is the position that I serve in. I mean, this position has existed for 32 years. And yeah, I'm the first and only autistic person to serve in that position, which is, it's kind of, it's progress, definitely. But it's for 32 years, we've been making policy and creating, dictating the lives of autistic people without getting the input of autistic people. And that's a big problem. So I'm very glad that I'm able to be able to give my fellow autistic people a voice in the policies that affect them.
Right, right. What would you say acceptance means to you? Acceptance and diversity. What do those like mean to you? Like especially like in the workforce and just in life? Like what does it mean to you?
Acceptance means I'm it means I am proud of who I am, and I want you to not I don't want you to pity me. I don't want you to be like, oh, you're so inspiring. I want you to just look at me and say, oh, you're another person just like I am. At the same time, I don't want to be like, oh, I barely think you're autistic. No, I am autistic, and I want you to recognize that I'm autistic because I'm proud of that fact, and I am proud of who I am, and I want to be allowed to be proud of who I am. It means for so much of my life, I've been told that because I'm autistic, there's something wrong with me. Well, that's just not true. I'm different, but you know, I've been able to do a lot. And I've been able to do a lot of things that other people aren't able to do. So yeah, acceptance. Now in the workforce, I really believe that people just need to give people who are different a chance. Because as a rule, employers are afraid of what they don't know. My experience has been people are unwilling to hire anyone with a disability because they don't know the laws. Like they don't know how expensive will accommodations be, how difficult would it be to give them. What if they can't do the job? If I have to fire them, does that count as discrimination? Like they don't know these things. And instead of learning them, they just automatically say, oh, I'm not going to deal with it. And they don't give them a job. And that's wrong. But I mean, that's why I'm here. That's why I have the office I do, to try to help businesses to learn these things so that employers can add people with disabilities to their workforce and just treat them the same as everyone else.
That's fantastic. Honestly, like what you do is so like really like it's inspiring in a way because we don't have many people out there like do what you do, like connect with employers and talk to them about like what it's like to hire like people that are different, and like giving them, you know, so you give them advice, right? You give them you tell them like what it's like and everything.
So yeah, I give them. So I mean, I have multiple roles with it. On one end, I give them advice, just like I was training someone last week and telling them it's like she was using a lot of outdated terminology. Like she meant very well. But she was asking like, "Oh, are you high or low function?" It's like, well, we don't really want to say that anymore. We
Yeah.
People don't know what they don't know. So I can, help on that front. Other things I can help with very practical things, like a lot of employers don't know what an 8850 is. I mean, that's a tax form that, gets you some it's a tax form that persons with disabilities have to fill out. Like, I don't want to get into really boring details like that, but these are practical things that employers need to know that they don't. So I can help on that front as well. And then I do a lot of the job training personally, like in my store. So I get to work with a lot of individuals as well who are, a lot of times it's their first job. And what I often find is the biggest problem is they they can't work. They can't work because they have no experience at all, because no one has ever given them a chance. And the sad reality, a lot of the time, their parents and job coaches and whatnot, they never had any faith in them and always just, they never thought they'd do anything. So they spent their whole life being told, you can't do anything. And that's what they think. So changing their mindset to, yes, you can do things, and then changing the employer's mindset to they can do things, it's a lot. But it is very rewarding to, see that. I mean, I have personally put about 2 dozen people through job training at this point, and they've all gone on to secure successful full-time employment. And through my work with the Able Trust, I mean, we've helped thousands of people. So our numbers are nowhere near where I want them to be. I want our numbers to be much higher, but I am very proud of the work we're doing.
And that's amazing. Well, I want to thank you for coming on here and sharing your story and just talking to us about what you do. I think everybody will definitely find this enlightening. And I want to apologize to everybody about my voice and me sneezing. I do have a little bit of a cold right now. Life sucks sometimes. But
It happens.
yeah, it happens. But yeah, thank you for coming on, and thank you everybody for watching another episode of Diverseability. We will see you next time.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming on.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Diverseability with your host Emma Billingsley. Still talk to people, hear jokes and songs, promote acceptance all day long. I know she can be a bit crazy, but she has diverseability. Da da da.